Okay, so if you're a leader in any business right now, I'm guessing your inbox is just flooded with demos for all these incredible new AI tools, right? But here's the thing. There's a huge, fatal flaw in how most companies are jumping on this AI train, a mistake that's wasting millions. We're going to break down that exact flaw and show you a completely different way of thinking about it, one that focuses on actual results, not just shiny new tools.
So here's the game plan. First, we'll talk about a super simple rule that applies to any successful system. Then, we'll get into the tool-first trap, what it is and why it's such a disaster. After that, we'll flip it and look at a much smarter solution, see how it actually works in practice, and then wrap up with a clear roadmap to get you there.
All right, let's dive in. Before we even say the letters A and I again, we have to talk about something way more fundamental. We have to talk about ownership. This is the bedrock. It doesn't matter if you're building a simple spreadsheet or a massive company-wide strategy. This rule is everything.
And here it is. It's so simple, right? If no one owns the result, the system will fail. Just think about any project you've ever seen. If there's no clear person in charge, what happens? It just drifts. Things fall through the cracks. It eventually falls apart. This isn't about technology. It's a people thing. And this one principle is the key to everything we're about to discuss.
Okay, so keep that idea of ownership fresh in your mind. Now let's look at how so many organizations get AI completely wrong. They walk right into what we're calling the tool-first trap. And on the surface, it seems totally logical. But trust me, it's a recipe for absolute chaos.
So, what is a tool-first strategy? Well, it's pretty much what it sounds like. It always starts with the technology. The conversation is, hey, what cool new AI tool can we buy? The whole focus is on features and what the tool could do. But see, this approach totally skips the most important questions. Like, wait, what business problem are we actually trying to solve here? And even more importantly, who is going to own the result?
So, what's the big deal? What actually happens when you lead with tools instead of outcomes? Well, you create a very specific and very predictable set of problems that can just completely sink your entire AI initiative before it even gets a chance to swim. The first thing you'll see is something called tool sprawl. It's almost guaranteed. Different departments go out and buy their own AI tools to solve what they think are their own unique problems. And pretty soon, you've got a dozen different, overlapping, disconnected, and really expensive systems. It's just digital clutter that ends up creating more work, not less.
And this brings us right back to that golden rule from the beginning. When you have all this tool sprawl, responsibility just dissolves. The marketing team has their tool, the sales team has theirs, the support team has another one, but who owns the entire customer journey from start to finish? Who's actually on the hook for the final business result? The answer is nobody. The tool becomes the excuse for failure.
And this really gets to the heart of the matter. It's a fundamental clash in mindset. The tool-first approach leads to this culture of feature obsession. Everyone's just constantly chasing the next bell or whistle, hoping that just one more feature will magically fix everything. But the real goal isn't to collect features, is it? Is to deliver tangible, measurable business outcomes. And those are two very, very different things.
Okay, so we've diagnosed the problem pretty thoroughly. Focusing on tools leads to sprawl, zero accountability, and it distracts you from what really matters. So, what's the alternative? This is where we pivot. We're going to move away from this broken strategy and into a whole new architecture that's actually designed for success.
I mean, it's the obvious question, right? If starting with the tool is the trap, the alternative is to start with the result. You don't begin with the what, you begin with the who. You start with the role.
And this is the big idea, a role-first AI architecture. Instead of just buying a tool, you essentially hire an AI for a specific role. I want you to think of it like you're writing a job description. What's this AI employee's title? AI Customer Onboarding Specialist, maybe? What specific business outcome is it responsible for? What are its KPIs? It's only after you define the role that you go out and find the tools it needs to do its job.
Now, I know this might sound a little bit abstract, hiring an AI. So let's make it really concrete. Imagine you hire an AI lead generation specialist. Its one job, its only job, is to increase qualified leads by 15%. So its tools might be a CRM, a data tool, a marketing platform, but they're all managed to achieve that single goal. So what does an AI employee like this actually do to get those results?
Well, this AI employee does 4 really critical things. First, it acts like a manager, coordinating all those different tools so they actually work together. Second, it maintains context,
so that crucial information doesn't get lost as it moves from one task to the next. Third, it handles exceptions. If one tool fails, the AI role knows how to escalate the problem or maybe try another way. And finally, its entire reason for existing is to deliver that one business outcome it was hired for. It owns the result. See? Ownership.
The best part is, this isn't just some high-level theory. It's a truly actionable strategy. So let's walk through a clear 5-step roadmap you can use to move your own organization from that tool-first chaos to role-based clarity.
It all starts by defining specific, measurable business outcomes. Not vague stuff like improve marketing, but something concrete, like increase qualified leads by 15%. Then you assign an AI role to own that outcome. Now, step 3 is absolutely crucial. You select the tools after defining the role, picking only what's necessary for that job. From there, you build out the workflows that connect those tools, and finally, you launch responsibly, always monitoring performance against that original outcome you set.
And that really brings us to the final critical question you should be asking yourself and your team. Take a hard look at your current AI initiatives. Are they built around a collection of exciting but totally disconnected tools? Or are they built around clear roles with direct ownership of business results? Because in the end, that's the only distinction that's really going to matter.